Chosen ones, 5 signs prove you're ascending soon. Have you ever felt like there was something different about you? Like you're not meant to live an ordinary life, that your existence has a higher purpose? If you've ever felt like the world around you doesn't fully resonate with your soul, you might be what many call a chosen one. And here's the thing, chosen ones aren't self-declared, they are awakened. They are individuals the universe is preparing for something much greater, something beyond the physical world. If you're watching this, I want you to know that your path is not random. You are here for a reason. And today, we're going to explore the 5 unmistakable signs that prove you're ascending soon. This isn't just spiritual fluff, this is a deep dive into the truth of who you are and what's happening to you on an energetic and soul level. First, let's talk about the concept of ascension. Ascension isn't about leaving this world behind or becoming some mythical being. It's about raising your consciousness, expanding your awareness, and stepping into a higher state of being. It's about moving beyond the limitations of fear, doubt, and ego into a space of love, trust, and unity. Ascension is a process of transformation, where you shed the old layers of who you thought you were and step into the truth of who you've always been. But here's the thing, ascension isn't something you force, it's something that happens naturally when your soul is ready.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
The first sign that you're ascending soon is that you feel increasingly disconnected from the 3D world. The 3D world is the realm of duality, good and bad, success and failure, love and loss. It's the world where people are driven by fear, materialism, and the need for external validation. But as you begin to ascend, you start to see through the illusion of it all. You realize that no amount of money, status, or possessions can fill the void within you. You start craving something deeper, something more meaningful. Maybe you've noticed that certain conversations, environments, or even people drain your energy. It's not that you're judging them, it's that your soul is pulling you towards something higher. Let me ask you, how many times have you been in a room full of people and still felt alone? That's because your vibration is shifting and the old energies no longer resonate with you. The second sign is that you're experiencing intense emotional and energetic shifts. This might feel like a roller coaster at times. One moment, you're overwhelmed with gratitude and love, and the next, you're processing old wounds and traumas you thought you had let go of. This is because ascension requires you to clear out the lower vibrations that no longer serve you. Think of it like cleaning out a closet. You have to pull everything out, even the things you've stuffed in the back, to make room for the new. These emotional shifts aren't a sign that something is wrong with you, they're a sign that you're healing. The universe is asking you to release the baggage you've been carrying so you can ascend lighter and freer. Pay attention to these moments. When you feel triggered, ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me? What part of me is still holding on to pain, fear, or resentment? The more you release, the higher your vibration becomes. The third sign is that you're noticing synchronicities and signs everywhere. Numbers like 1111, 222, or 444 might start appearing more frequently. You might hear a song or see a message at the exact moment it resonates with what you're going through. These aren't coincidences, they're the universe's way of communicating with you. It's like a breadcrumb trail, guiding you closer to your higher self. These signs are reminders that you're not alone, that you're on the right path, and that everything is unfolding as it should. But here's the key, you have to pay attention. The universe speaks in whispers, not shouts. When you see these signs, ask yourself, what is the message here? What is the universe trying to tell me? The fourth sign is that your intuition is becoming sharper. You're no longer relying solely on logic to navigate your life. You're starting to trust your inner knowing. Maybe you felt a strong pull toward a certain path, even though it doesn't make sense on paper. Or maybe you've had a gut feeling about a person or situation that turned out to be spot on. This is because, as you ascend, you're reconnecting with your soul's wisdom. You're tuning into the frequency of your higher self, the part of you that exists beyond time and space. Let me ask you something. How often do you trust your intuition? And how often do you ignore it, only to realize later that it was right all along? Your intuition is your compass. It's the voice of your soul guiding you toward your purpose. The more you listen to it, the stronger it becomes. The fifth and final sign is that you feel a deep sense of purpose, even if you don't fully understand it yet. You know deep down that you're here for a reason. You might not have all the answers, but there's a knowing inside you that you're being prepared for something greater. This sense of purpose might feel overwhelming at times. You might question whether you're ready or worthy of it. But let me tell you this, you wouldn't feel called if you weren't capable. The universe doesn't make mistakes. If you're being guided towards something, it's because you're meant for it. Ascension isn't an easy journey. It's a process of breaking down everything you thought you knew so you can rebuild yourself from a place of truth. But it's also the most beautiful, transformative journey you'll ever take. If you've experienced these signs, take them as confirmation that you're on the right path. You're not alone in this. There's a higher power guiding you, supporting you, and cheering you on every step of the way. The awakening process: how to embrace the signs and step into your higher purpose. Now that you've recognized the signs of ascension, the question becomes, what do you do with them? How do you embrace this awakening process without fear or doubt holding you back? The truth is, awakening is not a destination, it's a journey. It's a process of shedding the layers of conditioning, ego, and fear that have kept you tied to the 3D world and stepping into the limitless freedom of your higher self. But here's the thing, awakening doesn't come with a roadmap. The signs are there to guide you, but the path is yours to walk. It's unique to you because your soul's purpose is unlike anyone else's. The first step in embracing the awakening process is acceptance. You have to accept that your life is changing, that the old ways of being no longer serve you. This can be the hardest part because it often means letting go of things you've held onto for years, old habits, relationships, or beliefs that once felt safe but now feel heavy. Let me ask you something. What are you still holding onto that you know isn't aligned with the person you're becoming? The universe will often nudge you to release these attachments, and while it can feel painful in the moment, it's always for your highest good. You can't step into the new version of yourself while clinging to the old. As you begin to let go, you'll notice that space starts to open up in your life. It's in this space that your higher self begins to emerge. But this is also where fear can creep in. When we let go of the familiar, we're often left with uncertainty, and the ego doesn't like uncertainty. It wants control, predictability, and safety, but the soul thrives in the unknown. Awakening requires you to trust the process, even when you can't see the full picture yet. It's about leaning into the mystery and understanding that the universe always has your back. The key to navigating this uncertainty is presence. When you're fully present, you're no longer trapped in the illusions of the past or the anxieties of the future. You're in the now, the only moment where your true power exists. Presence allows you to tune into your intuition, to hear the whispers of your higher self guiding you forward. Meditation, mindfulness, and even something as simple as deep breathing can help you cultivate this sense of presence. When was the last time you truly sat in silence and listened not to the noise of the world, but to the voice within you? Another essential part of the awakening process is self-compassion. As you ascend, you'll likely face moments of doubt, fear, or even regret. You might look back at who you used to be and feel shame or guilt for the choices you made before you were aware. But here's the truth: every version of you served a purpose. You wouldn't be where you are now without the experiences that shaped you. The parts of you that you judge or wish you could erase were actually stepping stones leading you to this moment of awakening. So instead of resisting or condemning your past self, embrace it, love it, thank it for carrying you this far. One of the most powerful tools for embracing your awakening is gratitude. Gratitude shifts your vibration instantly. It moves you from a state of lack to a state of abundance, from fear to trust. When you focus on what you're grateful for, you align yourself with the energy of the universe, and that alignment creates miracles. But gratitude isn't just about giving thanks for the good things, it's about finding the gift in every experience, even the painful ones. Think about a challenge you've faced recently. What lesson did it teach you? How did it help you grow? Gratitude doesn't mean ignoring the difficulty, it means seeing the divine purpose in it. As you embrace the signs of ascension, you'll also notice that your intuition becomes stronger. Your higher self is always communicating with you, but during the awakening process, that connection becomes clearer. You might receive insights, downloads, or sudden flashes of understanding that seem to come out of nowhere. Trust them. These are messages from your soul, guiding you toward your purpose. But here's the thing: intuition isn't loud. It's a quiet whisper, a subtle nudge, a feeling in your gut. And if you're too caught up in the noise of the world, you might miss it. That's why creating space for stillness is so important. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you acted on your intuition without questioning it? What happened? Often, the moments when we trust our intuition are the moments when life flows effortlessly, when doors open and synchronicities appear. That's not a coincidence, that's alignment. Finally, the awakening process is about stepping into your purpose. As a chosen one, you're not here to live an ordinary life. You're here to make an impact, to shine your light, and to contribute to the collective awakening of humanity. But purpose doesn't have to mean something grand or overwhelming. It doesn't mean you have to change the entire world. Your purpose might simply be to live authentically, to heal yourself so that others can see what's possible, or to bring love and kindness to those around you. Purpose isn't something you find, it's something you remember. It's already within you, waiting to be activated. The awakening process is not always easy, but it's always worth it. Each step you take brings you closer to the truth of who you are, to the infinite potential that's been within you all along. And as you ascend, you're not just transforming yourself, you're transforming the world. Because every time you raise your vibration, you contribute to the collective energy of humanity. You're a beacon, a guide, and a reminder that we're all connected, that we're all ascending together. Breaking the chains, releasing fear and ego to align fully with your ascension. The journey of ascension is often described as beautiful and transformative, but let's not sugarcoat it, it's also deeply challenging. To ascend, to step into your higher self, you must confront the shadows that have kept you tethered to the 3D world. And at the root of those shadows are two powerful forces, fear and ego. These are the chains that bind you, the weights that hold you down when your soul is ready to soar. If you're serious about your awakening, if you truly want to align with your ascension, you must face these forces head-on. not with anger or resistance, but with courage, understanding, and a willingness to let go. Fear is one of the most insidious barriers to ascension. It disguises itself in many forms: doubt, worry, procrastination, anger, and even logic. It whispers to you that you're not ready, that you're not good enough, that stepping into your higher self is too risky, too uncertain. But here's the truth: fear is an illusion. It's a construct of the mind designed to keep you safe in the physical world. And while it may have served a purpose in the purpose, it no longer serves you on this path. Think about the moments in your life when fear has held you back. How many dreams have you delayed because fear convinced you that failure was inevitable? How many times have you silenced your intuition because fear told you it didn't make sense? Let me ask you something profound. If fear were no longer a factor, what would you do with your life? What would you create, pursue, or become if you weren't afraid of judgment, failure, or the unknown? The key to releasing fear is not to fight it, but to understand it. Fear thrives in the darkness, in the places we refuse to look. But when you shine the light of awareness on it, fear begins to dissolve. Start by identifying your fears. Write them down, speak them out loud, or simply sit with them in meditation. Ask yourself, where does this fear come from? Is it rooted in a past experience, a limiting belief, or a story I've been telling myself? Once you understand the source, you can begin to dismantle it. But fear doesn't work alone. It has a partner: the ego. The ego is the part of you that identifies with separation, that clings to labels, roles, and external validation. It's the voice that says, "I am my achievements," or "I am my failures." The ego thrives on comparison and control, and it resists change because change threatens its sense of identity. The ego is not inherently bad. It's a tool for navigating the physical world. But when the ego takes over, it creates barriers to your ascension. The ego will try to convince you that ascension is a selfish pursuit, that focusing on your spiritual growth means abandoning your responsibilities or disconnecting from others. It will whisper that you're not special enough to be a chosen one, that this path isn't meant for you. But here's the truth: the ego fears ascension because it knows that, in the higher dimensions, it no longer has control. In the fifth dimension, you operate from your soul, not your ego. You see yourself not as separate, but as part of the whole. So how do you release the grip of the ego? The first step is humility. Acknowledge that you don't have all the answers, that your current perspective is limited. Humility doesn't mean diminishing yourself. It means opening yourself to the guidance of your higher self and the universe. It means trusting that there's a greater plan at work, even when you can't see it. The second step is detachment. Detachment doesn't mean apathy. It means letting go of the need to control everything. It means releasing your attachment to specific outcomes, to how you think your life should look. When you detach, you free yourself from the ego's expectations and open yourself to the infinite possibilities of the universe. Let me ask you, what are you clinging to right now? What would happen if you simply let it go? Another way to transcend the ego is through service. When you focus on helping others, on contributing to the collective good, the ego takes a backseat. Service aligns you with the energy of love and unity, the very essence of the fifth dimension. But here's the thing: you can't serve from an empty cup. Self-care and service are not opposites, they're two sides of the same coin. When you nurture your own soul, you have more to give to others. As you release fear and ego, you'll notice a shift in your energy. You'll feel lighter, freer, more aligned with your higher self. But this isn't a one-time process, it's a practice. Fear and ego will continue to arise, especially when you're stepping into new levels of growth. The key is to meet them with awareness and compassion, not resistance. Remember, this fear and ego are not your enemies. They are simply parts of you that need healing, parts that are asking to be loved and integrated. The more you embrace them, the less power they have over you. And as you release their grip, you create space for your higher self to take the lead. When you let go of fear and ego, you're not just breaking chains, you're unlocking doors. Doors to your true purpose, your infinite potential, and the higher dimensions of existence. The question is, are you ready to step through? Living as a chosen one, embodying your ascension and inspiring others. Stepping into your role as a chosen one is not just about recognizing your ascension, it's about living it. This is where all the inner work, the releasing of fear and ego, the trust in your intuition, and the alignment with your higher self become the foundation of who you are. Ascending is not something that happens to you, it's something you embody. It's a way of living, thinking, and being that radiates love, authenticity, and truth. But this path isn't just about you. As a chosen one, your awakening ripples out and touches the lives of others. You become a beacon, a guide, a living example of what's possible when someone steps into their divine purpose. Living as a chosen one means embracing responsibility, but not in the way you've been conditioned to think. It's not about carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders or trying to fix everyone's problems. It's about owning your energy, your vibration, and your unique gifts. When you live in alignment with your higher self, you naturally inspire others to do the same. You don't need to force change or preach to anyone. Your presence alone becomes a catalyst for transformation. Think about the people who have impacted your life the most. Chances are, they didn't change you by telling you what to do, they changed you by being who they are. That's the kind of power you hold when you embody your ascension. One of the most profound shifts that happens when you live as a chosen one is that you stop seeking external validation. You no longer need the approval of others to feel worthy or the reassurance of the material world to feel safe. Your sense of self comes from within, from your connection to your higher self and the universe. This doesn't mean you stop caring about others, it means you stop living for them. You realize that the best way to serve the world is to be true to yourself. Let me ask you, how many times have you dimmed your light to make others comfortable? What would your life look like if you gave yourself full permission to shine? Living as a chosen one also means embracing your humanity. Ascension doesn't make you perfect, it makes you aware. You'll still have moments of doubt, fear, or frustration, but the difference is that you'll no longer be controlled by them. You'll have the tools and awareness to navigate them with grace. Remember, being a chosen one doesn't mean you have all the answers, it means you're willing to ask the right questions. It means you're committed to growth, not just for yourself, but for the collective. As you embody your ascension, you'll notice that people are drawn to your energy. They may not even understand why, but they'll feel it. This is because your vibration is higher, and higher vibrations naturally attract. But with this comes a responsibility to protect your energy. Not everyone who is drawn to you will be ready to do the work, and it's not your job to carry them. Your role is to plant seeds, to inspire, and to lead by example. You can't force anyone to awaken, that's a journey they have to choose for themselves. One of the most beautiful aspects of living as a chosen one is that you begin to see the interconnectedness of all things. You understand that your ascension is not separate from the ascension of humanity, it's part of it. Every time you raise your vibration, you contribute to the collective awakening. Every act of love, every moment of presence, every time you choose trust over fear, you're creating a ripple effect that reaches far beyond what you can see. But let me leave you with a question, perhaps the most important one of all. What legacy do you want to leave behind as a chosen one? Not in terms of material achievements, but in terms of the energy and impact you bring to the world. How do you want to make people feel? What kind of world do you want to help create? Living as a chosen one is not about perfection, it's about presence. It's about showing up as your authentic self, embracing your purpose, and trusting that your light, no matter how small it may seem, has the power to illuminate the path for others. This is your time. You are ascending for a reason. You are here to make a difference. The only question is, are you ready to live it?